years ago, we launched our Night Surfer with Zenith, a limited edition of 100 pieces. This was our first big limited edition, so we were of course eager to see how everyone would respond to our design. Excitingly, the 100 watches sold quickly, and even more commendable, only a few ever reached the secondary market. The 2 or so that did were listed for 2 times retail, which some would use as a benchmark for success. We even caught wind of a replica site listing a fake of our design, which was conflictingly flattering, and no, we will not drop you the link. So, it is clear people really dug the Night Surfer. I know so firsthand as someone who has made it a routine daily wearer, even swimming and playing tennis with it while on vacation. This is why we wanted to do a sequel with Zenith and create a new Night Surfer opportunity for watch buyers around the world. Meet the new Zenith Defy Skyline Skeleton Night Surfer Time+Tide Edition. At first glance, you may feel like we did the exact same thing with a newer model, but like the original Defy Classic Skeleton Night Surfer Time+Tide Edition, which included a slew of premiering elements for the Defy Classic Skeleton line, such as the first microblasted titanium bracelet ever from Zenith, and the first ever microblasted titanium case and gradient dial for a Defy Classic Skeleton, the Defy Skyline Skeleton Night Surfer Time+Tide Edition brings both fresh and familiar premieres to the Skyline Skeleton collection. First, while we have once again elected to have the watch in a microblasted titanium case affixed to a microblasted titanium bracelet, this Skyline Night Surfer is the first ever Skyline produced in titanium. With a slightly thicker case due to the updated El Primero movement, many within the watch community noted that the previously introduced Skyline steel models have an added bulk and heft in comparison to the classic. So, with the lightweight nature of titanium, the Skyline Skeleton Night Surfer offers an elevated daily wearer feel from a fit and function perspective. Secondly, the Night Surfer 2 is the first Skyline Skeleton to have a gradient color dial, and thirdly, the first to incorporate luminous material into the bridges of the star motif on the dial. Whereas the original Night Surfer was the first to have a fully luminous star above the Zenith branding at 12 o'clock, we have shifted this luminous element to the star-shaped bridges instead. In total, these elements represent 4 firsts for the Skyline Skeleton collection. Now, of course, we don't want to assume that you're all familiar with the Skyline Skeleton framework, so let's do a rundown of the overall specs. The microblasted titanium case is very wrist-friendly, measuring in at 41mm in diameter, 11.6mm thick, with a compact lug-to-lug measurement of 46.3mm across the wrist. In the transition from the Defy Classic Skeleton to the Skyline Skeleton, a more faceted 12-sided bezel was introduced, designed with the idea that each facet would perfectly frame one of the 12-hour indices. The number of points on the star motif found on the open work dial, however, has decreased from a 5-pointed star to a 4-pointed star. This design switch-up pays homage to the original star logo found on the case back of the original Defy watch from 1969, rather than the 5-pointed star used within Zenith's current logo. One hang-up some people have with the Skyline is the asymmetrical counter at the 9 o'clock position directly across from the date complication at 3 o'clock. The Skyline Skeleton, however, removes the date complication and shifts the counter to the less controversial 6 o'clock position. The 6 o'clock position date, 4-pointed star, and 12-sided bezel all work together to give the Skyline Skeleton a fully symmetrical aesthetic dial purists will appreciate. You could argue this new Night Surfer Skyline Skeleton is even surfier than the original. Yes, the water resistance remains at 100 meters, but unlike the Defy Classic Skeleton, it has a screw-down crown for an added sense of security. It is also more strap compatible, as this Night Surfer 2 can be outfitted either on the microblasted titanium bracelet or a wide array of rubber straps available from Zenith, all of which, including the bracelet, now feature an easy-to-use interchangeable system that requires 0 tools. And the good news is our Night Surfer 2 comes with both the interchangeable microblasted titanium bracelet and an interchangeable blue rubber strap with folding clasp. During the run of the Defy Classic Skeleton, comparisons to a certain Genta design were known to have been made, But the new 12-sided bezel is not the only distinguishing element. Zenith have put their irrefutably distinct stamp on the Skyline with a 1/10 of a second counter in place of a traditional running seconds counter. With the new 5 Hz El Primero 3620 SK movement, the 55-hour power reserve caliber with a silicon escapement flexes Zenith's status as a master of high beat movements by having the 6 o'clock counter make a full revolution every 10 seconds rather than 60 seconds, just like the central elapsed seconds hand of their chronograph watches. It is quirky and atypical for sure, but it is an element of watch design nobody can accuse Zenith of borrowing. 100% pure Zenith. Look, while designing this new edition, the idea of ensuring a sequel would live up to the original was certainly at the forefront of our minds. If the Defy Classic Skeleton Night Surfer was the Godfather, we knew our design needed to be the Godfather Part 2 and not the Godfather Part 3. So within this film analogy, in the comments below, I would love everyone to post their Rotten Tomatoes score for our Night Surfer 2 out of 100%. What do you think? Have we nailed the sequel? If not, what would you have liked to see instead? Because this is not our first limited edition, and certainly it will not be the last. The Zenith Defy Skyline Skeleton Night Surfer Time+Tide edition has a retail price of 11,900 Swiss francs. To purchase the watch, simply go to the link in the description below. Now, this is where I would normally do some sort of prompt to get you guys to subscribe to the channel, but I think for today, just for this special occasion, if you really want to make us happy, head over to that link and purchase our new collaborative edition. That would mean the world to us. And if you can't do that, then you know what? As a close second, we would love for you to subscribe to the Time+Tide channel. So thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you on the next one.